we're able to gather together, celebrate our cultures, and build community on this beautiful land. And that's something to be extremely grateful for. At the same time, it comes with the responsibility to acknowledge and respect the indigenous peoples who have cared for this land for generations. I had the chance to participate in cultural events and performances, and even attend programs where we listen to the stories of music and of Bangladeshi legends, the very artists and voices that my parents and grandparents grew up listening to. Being immersed in that environment at such a young age created a household where Bangla was constantly spoken, Bangla music filled the rooms, and traditions were celebrated with pride. Those experiences didn't just teach me dance. They shaped my identity, instilled a sense of belonging, and allowed me to carry a piece of Bangladesh with me as I grew up in Toronto. And that connection extended well beyond the dance class in the streets of Danforth, now known as Banglatown, where I have very fond memories stepping into Marhaba, where the former uncle there would always sneak my sister and I a mango bar. Or whether it was going to ATN Plus, where the uncle helped us build our childhood movie collection with CDs that were a huge part of us growing up. Now a collection I unfortunately cannot part with because mostly CDs aren't really a thing anymore, unfortunately. These small moments reflect the larger impact of our community, a space that nurtures culture, belonging, and identity. Events like these are very important because they give us a chance to celebrate those contributions, remember our shared histories, and inspire the next generation to carry forward that pride, connection, and resilience. Now, I can continue talking all day, but I'm sure you would also like to hear from some other voices. So now I am thrilled to welcome a true champion of our community, a leader who has worked tirelessly to advance inclusion, equity, and justice here in Toronto. Please join me in giving a warm round of applause to MPP Christine Wongtam, the incredible MPP for Toronto Centre and Shadow Minister for the Attorney General and 2S LGBTQI+ issues.
That was such a very warm introduction, and what a wonderful way for us to celebrate Bangladeshi Heritage Month. I'm so happy to be here with all of you, and I was just saying to Mart earlier, because we had just concluded a debate at Queen's Park, and I was being very anxious about the time, because I knew that this event started around 6 o'clock, and the debate kept going. And kept going. And every second that it dragged on, my heart was here because I didn't want you to be without us for a minute longer. So of course we got here, but I did rush. So I'm sorry if I passed anybody too quickly, but I'm happy that we're all here safely. This is a very special time of year. I want to just say how proud I am. Someone who has the distinct honor of representing Toronto Centre, and Toronto Centre is home to one of the, I would say, one of the larger and largest Bangladeshi communities we have in Toronto. I have the distinct honor of knowing the community and becoming friends with the community. And I want to especially point out that we have members of our community here from Toronto Centre, and if you can just put up your hand, I just want to say hello to every single one of you who are here. I'm going to single him out in particular because we also have Zakir, who is the president of the Regent Park Islamic Resource Center. He is joined by esteemed colleagues, and I know that it means a lot to me and to our community that the Regent Park Islamic Resource Center is always at the forefront of doing such incredible work. So thank you to you. Now, I want to just say that I had the distinct pleasure of introducing a motion as City Council when I was there not too long ago. And so I've been at Queen's Park for 3 years, but I had the distinct pleasure of introducing a motion that was seconded by Councillor Bradford. And our motion was to declare and proclaim March as Bangladeshi Heritage Month every single month in this month. But also, we also called on the March 26th as the Independence Day of Bangladesh. And I just want to share with you a little bit of the language that we put into this motion because we wrote it with a lot of love. At that point in time, I had said, and it still is very true today, that Toronto is home to a large and vibrant Bangladeshi community. Bangladeshi Canadians have made significant contributions to Toronto's scientific, athletic, cultural, political development, and they continue to foster growth and prosperity and innovation throughout this great city. And then now that I'm at the province, I would say and extend all of that all those words, all those sentiments to the province of Ontario. The month of March is an important one for the Bangladeshi community. Every year on March 26th, the Bangladeshis around the world celebrate Independence Day in commemoration of their nation gaining independence from Pakistan in 1971. This day is also marked with music, parades, fairs, and various other public and private gatherings held to celebrate the history and traditions of Bangladesh. March 26th, 2021, that was the year of the motion, marks the 50th anniversary of Bangladesh's declaration of independence from Pakistan. And I'm just so happy to read those words and to sort of go back in time and just relive that moment and how happy we were all of us as City Council to make that official proclamation. And I want to share that with you today. In the room, I also see my very good friend, MPP Alexa Gilmore. She's a quiet tiger, but I tell you, she is a big champion of our community, big champion of this community, and a very dear friend. So I'm going to bring my remarks to a close. I'm so happy that we are spending this time here in Scarborough Southwest. Last year when we held the reception, it was actually in Queen's Park, and we hope to do more and more receptions, build more and more friendships, further and deepen and strengthen the relationship we have with the community. You have a friend and ally in all of us at the Ontario NDP caucus, and you especially have a biggest champion for the Bangladeshi community in our leader, Marit Stiles, who fights so hard for this community day in and day out. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your kind words. And I know you said you rushed here, but don't worry, you arrived on Bangladeshi time, so you're completely good in that case. Okay, thank you so much again for those kind words. Now, before I introduce our next guest, I just have to say, I ended up convincing some of my friends to actually come knowing that you're going to be here, so you being here is sort of a celebrity sighting for them. So once again, we are thrilled to welcome someone who has unapologetically fought for students, working families, and communities across Toronto. As the leader of the official opposition in the Ontario NDP, Marit Stiles has been the forefront of pushing back against policies and that would burden students with debt, including leading the Save OSEP campaign to protect access to affordable education for young people like myself across the province. Please join me in giving me a warm welcome to Marit Stiles, leader of the Ontario NDP and the official opposition.
Thank you, Rabina. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Shu Baho Shanda. Was that okay? All right, I'm working on it. I am just so thrilled to be here with you today. And actually, I want to thank MPP Wong Tam and MPP Gilmore for joining us as well. Thank you so much for being here. It's really important that we're all here tonight to celebrate Bangladeshi Heritage Month together. I feel like it's extremely special to be here. Before I go any further, and I'm going to talk a bit more about Bangladeshi Heritage Month, but I do want to say that one of the reasons that what the issue we were debating in the legislature tonight, actually, and the reason it went on and on and on, was because we were fighting really hard to end the cuts to the Ontario Student Assistance Program, OSAP, because we are really outraged, like so many families that are here with us tonight, about those cuts. We're fighting really hard to try to make sure that every student and every family gets the support they need to continue their education. And I know that that is very important in the Bangladeshi community, like it is to so many other families across this province. And I want to thank you for raising your voices in support of that as well. Thank you. Now, Bangladeshi Ontarians, every single one of you here are business leaders, community media, reporters, young people, families. You are part of Ontario's story. Your ideas, your contributions, your stories are a part of what makes this province, what makes Canada such a great place to live. It is so special, as MPP Wong Tam mentioned, that we are able to bring this celebration here to Scarborough Southwest this year, a community, yes, a community that thousands and thousands of Bangladeshi Canadians call home. This is a place where the Ontario NDP also has a very deep history and a very strong track record. And it's where we gather to celebrate a community that has become a shining example of excellence and unity. And I wasn't going to mention it tonight, but I'm going to. You know, one of the first, and maybe the first New Democrat who was elected to represent this part of the city was actually a man named Stephen Lewis. And some of you here may remember him, some may not, but it was back in the 70s, I think maybe up until the early 80s, that he represented this area of Toronto and Ontario. And he was also the leader of the Ontario NDP and the leader of the official opposition, and a person who accomplished extraordinary things. That was only the beginning. He went on to be the United Nations ambassador for Canada. Just an extraordinary human being. The father of the now, as of a few days ago, leader of the federal New Democratic Party, Avi Lewis. And I'm going to say, sadly today, we learned this morning that Mr. Lewis passed away. At a very fine age, I will say. He lived a very long and incredible life. But I did want to mention him tonight because I couldn't be in this community without mentioning him and thanking the community of Scarborough Southwest for so many years, going back so far, for being that bedrock that allowed him to step up and lead in this province and in this country and internationally. So thank you so much for that, Scarborough Southwest. Now, this is again about Bangladeshi Heritage Month. That's why we're here. I want to take a moment tonight to recognize some of the incredibly talented people who are with us to be part of our program this evening. Rubina Farron, who is already our MC, thank you so much. Fantastic, by the way, her family is here as well, dressed appropriately. It was wonderful to meet you. It has been a delight to have you here. Also, Azim Akurbo, who is here, who's going to be performing for us in a few minutes. And I want you to know that I was talking to Azim, and I will admit that I've heard Bangladeshi music many times, but I will admit also that at the end of the performance, I don't often know what it was about, okay? Because I don't speak the language. But he promised me that before he sings, he will explain a little bit about what the song will be. So thank you so much. That's very generous. I appreciate it. And I also want to thank Parisa Naim at the back there, who is sharing her creativity with us this evening. Thank you. And then very quickly, I'd like to take a moment to thank the entire team here at BD Fusion Restaurant for welcoming us and for the delicious food. Thank you so much. And of course, our team, Heather Douglas, the entire outreach team that's here, Ali Shatur, our provincial director, Maisha is here, there's Marzi, and there's so many members of our team that helped put together tonight and put this night together, and I really appreciate it. New Democrats are always very proud to recognize trailblazers throughout the Bangladeshi community for your tremendous leadership, your advocacy, and your tireless work. This March is Bangladeshi Heritage Month, but really, I think every month we should be celebrating this community. So thank you again very much, everybody, and Dono Ba.
Alrighty. I think we've heard quite a few speeches, and you've heard me speak for quite a while, so let's bring some music and energy to our celebration. Are we ready for a performance? Yeah. Okay. So our next performer that I'll be introducing is a Toronto-based musician and multi-instrumentalist known for his acoustic performances and cross-cultural repertoire. Singing in multiple languages and spanning genres, he brings a refined and deliberate presence to the stage that always captivates audiences. A graduate of the University of Toronto, shout out to my school, Azim Apurbo also leads product and operations initiatives in the retail sector, balancing his work in business with his passion for music. His dedication to craft, performance, and identity shines through in everything he does. Everyone, please give him a warm welcome.
We'll be performing a few songs. Very nice to meet you. And সবাইকে আমাদের বাংলাদেশি হেরিটেজ মান্থের শুভেচ্ছা. Okay. As the MC very nicely put, my name is Azim Apurbo. I will be okay. The first song, I promise that I'll give a little bit of details. So this song is composed by one of the freedom fighters from 1971. His name is Ahmed Imtiaz Bulbul, and this was from one of the movies from the late 90s, I believe. I was a child at the time, but the song is amazing, and it won like national awards and stuff. So I'm gonna start with that song.
What is the meaning of Apurvo? You can just explain.
Oh, so he's suggesting very correctly. I might suggest the meaning of my name Apurvo. It means beautiful, but it can also mean unprecedented. So in that context, Apurvo থেকে short. বিধাতায় আমাকে তোমার জন্য গড়েছে আপন হাতে, জীবনে মরণে আধারে আলোতে থাকবো তোমার সাথে। তুমি বুকে টেনে নাও না প্রিয় আমাকে, আমি ভালোবাসি 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 তোমাকে। অনেক সাধনার পরে আমি পেলাম তোমার মন, এলাম খুঁজে ভুবনে আমার আপন। তুমি বুকে টেনে নাও না প্রিয় আমাকে, আমি ভালোবাসি 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 তোমাকে। অনেক সাধনার পরে আমি পেলাম তোমার মন, পেলাম খুঁজে ভুবনে আমার